Stranger Things, Season 3. The third season of Stranger Things takes us back to Hawkins, Indiana, during the summer of 1985. As the town celebrates Independence Day, an even darker menace looms. The season explores the characters' transition from childhood to adolescence and the changes in their relationships while also introducing new threats from the upside down. With more action, humor, and a bolder 1980s aesthetic, Season 3 raised the stakes, blending nostalgia with horror and delivering one of the show's most intense chapters. Plot overview. Season 3 begins with the group enjoying the summer of 1985, but things take a sinister turn when it becomes clear that the Mind Flayer has returned and is targeting Hawkins once again. This time, it uses a new method to infiltrate the real world, taking control of Hawkins' residents and turning them into unwilling soldiers in its deadly army. The Hawkins Starcourt Mall, a new and flashy shopping center, becomes a central location in the season. The mall not only serves as a social hub for the kids but also conceals a dark secret, a secret Russian lab beneath its foundation. The lab scientists are attempting to open the gate to the Upside Down once more, unknowingly unleashing the Mind Flayer on Hawkins. Meanwhile, 11, Millie Bobby Brown, and Mike Finn Wolfhard are exploring their teenage romance, which creates tension within the group. Will, Noah Schnapp feels left out, while Lucas, Caleb McLaughlin, and Max, Sadie Sink, are caught up in their own on and off relationship. Dustin, Gatton Matarazzo, returns from summer camp with a newfound confidence and a mysterious girlfriend named Susie. As the season progresses, the group uncovers the truth behind the Russian lab and the Mind Flayer's plan. The creature is using Hawkins' residents as hosts, including Billy Hargrove, Dacre Montgomery, Max's stepbrother, who becomes the Mind Flayer's primary vessel. The gang must unite to save Hawkins, facing physical and emotional challenges as they confront their most terrifying enemy yet. Key characters. 11, Millie Bobby Brown. 11 continues to grow in Season 3, both in her powers and in her understanding of the world around her. She forms a strong bond with Max, who helps her embrace her individuality. Her relationship with Mike faces ups and downs, and by the end of the season, 11 faces a significant loss that challenges her resilience. Mike Wheeler, Finn Wolfhard. Mike is deeply involved in his relationship with 11, but this creates tension within the group, especially with Will, who feels left behind. Mike's loyalty to his friends is tested as he navigates the complexities of teenage relationships. Will Byers, Noah Schnapp. After his traumatic experiences in the Upside Down, Will struggles with being the only one not interested in dating. He misses the carefree days of friendship and feels increasingly isolated as his friends move forward in their relationships. Lucas Sinclair, Caleb McLaughlin, and Max Mayfield. Sadie Sink. Lucas and Max's relationship adds a fun, lighthearted dynamic, with Lucas often trying to impress Max, who is confident and adventurous. Their playful banter provides comic relief amid the darker moments. Dustin Henderson, Gatton Matarazzo. Returning from summer camp, Dustin brings tales of his mysterious girlfriend, Susie, and accidentally uncovers the Russian plot beneath Starcourt Mall. His scenes with Steve Harrington, Joe Keery, and new character Robin add humor and camaraderie. Billy Hargrove, Dacre Montgomery. Billy's character takes a dark turn as he becomes the primary host for the Mind Flayer. His relationship with Max is explored more deeply, and his struggle against the Mind Flayer's control brings unexpected depth to his character. Jim Hopper, David Harbour. Hopper faces challenges as he tries to navigate his role as 11's adoptive father. His overprotective nature causes tension with 11 and Mike, leading to humorous and heartfelt moments. Hopper's heroic arc in Season 3 solidifies him as one of the show's central figures. Robin Buckley, Maya Hawke. A new addition to the cast, Robin works with Steve at the Starcourt Mall's Scoops Ahoy ice cream parlor. She quickly becomes involved in the group's adventures, forming a strong bond with Steve. Her witty personality and unique perspective add a fresh dynamic to the team. Themes and style. Season 3 dives into themes of growing up, friendship, and the struggle for independence. As the characters begin to grow apart, the season reflects the bittersweet nature of adolescence, where childhood friendships are tested as priorities and interests change. These themes resonate throughout the season, particularly in Will's longing for the simplicity of childhood and 11's quest for independence. The season also examines sacrifice and courage, with Hopper and Billy facing life and death situations for the sake of others. These moments highlight the bravery and selflessness of the characters, making the final episodes emotionally powerful. Visually, Season 3 embraces 1980s pop culture more boldly than previous seasons. The neon colors, mall culture, and vibrant fashion reflect the era, creating a nostalgic aesthetic that contrasts with the dark and monstrous presence of the Mind Flayer. The season is action-packed, with more elaborate fight scenes, car chases, and horror elements that bring a cinematic feel to the show. New threat: the Mind Flayer's flesh monster. In Season 3, the Mind Flayer takes on a new and terrifying form. Instead of solely lurking in the Upside Down, it begins to infect Hawkins' residents, transforming them into an extension of itself. These possessed individuals form a flesh monster that the gang dubs the Flesh Flayer. This creature is a grotesque blend of those it has consumed, and it pursues the group in an attempt to eliminate 11, the biggest threat to its existence. The Flesh Flayer is both a physical and psychological threat, as it directly targets members of the group, leaving them no place to hide. The creature's design and the scenes involving its attacks are some of the most intense in the series, with the horror elements dialed up to create a sense of dread. Critical reception. Season 3 of Stranger Things was widely praised for its humor, action, and character development. The deeper exploration of friendships and relationships resonated with audiences, as did the nostalgic portrayal of 1980s mall culture. The addition of Robin and the further development of characters like Steve and Billy were highlights for both fans and critics. However, some viewers noted that the season's increased focus on romance and comedy occasionally detracted from the horror and suspense that characterized earlier seasons. Despite this, the season's final episodes, with their emotional stakes and intense action sequences, were widely acclaimed. Production and design. The Duffer Brothers continued to draw inspiration from 80s horror and action films, with references to The Terminator, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and Day of the Dead. Starcourt Mall is a focal point for the season's production design, serving as both a setting for teenage hangouts and a secret base for the Russians. The mall's design was meticulously crafted to recreate the era, complete with neon signs, food courts, and popular 80s stores. The CGI for the Flesh Flayer and the Russian lab sequences added to the season's cinematic feel, with the effects team creating one of the show's most visually intense creatures. The season's score also continued to lean heavily on synth, but with a darker, more intense sound to match the rising stakes. The soundtrack included iconic 80s songs, with highlights like Immaterial Girl by Madonna, Cold as Ice by Foreigner, and Never Ending Story by Limahl, the latter of which plays during Dustin and Susie's duet in the season finale, a scene that quickly became a fan favorite. Legacy and cultural impact. The third season of Stranger Things further cemented the series as a cultural phenomenon, with fans embracing the nostalgia, action, and emotional depth of the season. The setting of Starcourt Mall became iconic, and scenes like Dustin and Susie's Never Ending Story duet added humor and lightness that balanced the horror. The season's cliffhanger ending left fans eager for more, with questions surrounding Hopper's fate and the origins of the Mind Flayer's power. Merchandise, including toys, clothing, and even themed food products, continued to expand the show's presence in pop culture. Conclusion. Stranger Things, Season 3, is a thrilling, action-packed entry that blends horror, humor, and heart, capturing the excitement and complexities of growing up. With its new villain, intense action, and nostalgic charm, the season brings fresh energy to the show while deepening its characters and expanding its mythology. Season 3's exploration of friendship, bravery, and sacrifice solidifies it as one of the most memorable seasons of Stranger Things, leaving fans eagerly awaiting the next chapter.